GM everyone. Oh, Craig just disappeared on us, so I don't know where the hell he's gone. But there he is. He's back. GM, easy. Good evening for you, mate. How you going? Sunday night over there.
Man, it's good to be here.
Excellent, mate. Pleasure to have you on the show. Eli's jealous again in the chat, so shout out to Eli. Craig, mate, how's your weekend? Busy, really nice weekend up here in Oz. Like, I went to the beach. It was super sunny. It's obviously a bit fresh. It's winter, but it was really nice, really nice. How was your weekend?
Yeah, dude, it was good. A bit of sunshine here, same as you. Greeny and I are about 2 hours away. So, man, I just spent the whole weekend, as boring as this sounds, relaxing with the family and cleaning the house, dude. The outside, doing the lawns and chores. So, I guess that's life of a married man to look forward to for the young fellas out there. Easy, something to look forward to, man. Just lawns and lawn bowls and kids' time.
Always, right? Always something.
No, it was good, man. It was good. And, big shout out to Easy for jumping on today. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're going to kick off straight away with what's your thesis on MicroStrategy, Easy? Okay, we're going straight into
that. Legally, the lawyers have told me not to speak about it. Peter wasn't happy about my post the other day in which I said that these holding companies are oversaturated, which I stand by. I do think they're oversaturated. Obviously, MicroStrategy is a little bit of a unique case. I just needed a good clickbait title for the post. So that was more of it. He's like, I actually think you believe this. It's just for me as somebody who's like on-chain native. There's no reason for me to be buying it when I can just buy Bitcoin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's how I look at it. That's like how I trade. Like I just don't really see a need to be purchasing those. And I think that it makes sense for a lot of people to buy that versus other things. You know?
Yeah.
Like I did well trading DeFi Dev Corp, which was like a Solana holding company. Yeah,
I think that's fair. Like, I mean, for us too, like over here in Oz, it's actually quite difficult to buy US stocks like individually / get involved with options and all that stuff as well. So for us, I agree with you. Like, you know me, like I'm an on-chain trader in every sort of capacity, right? So buying Bitcoin is my safe haven. It's Craig's safe haven. It's the way that we kind of go about stuff. So that's interesting to hear that perspective. Again, it's always good. Crypto has a lot of different perspectives. And I mean, PO absolutely loves it and he's killing it. So shout out to him for that chat last week as well. But
if I'm buying equities, I'm buying Robinhood.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too in the show. So I know like a lot of people obviously know you as that real Solana bull, the guy that bought Solana at $8, all that sort of stuff. Obviously, Badoggo's co-founder and stuff as well. But talk to us a little bit about your story behind, before crypto. Like, where'd you come from? TradFi, banks, what was it?
Yes, I mean, I've been trading equities since I was like 16 on a custodial account. I got really into it, traded options, did really well. Stumbled into crypto my junior year of college. Because of like Silk Road, actually. Like we were just so infatuated by like the fact that you could buy drugs online, which was just like, there's no way this is allowed. So we tried it. I sent Bitcoin. I still have the transaction somewhere, and it was like, wow, that was the most expensive thing we've ever bought in our life. Now that we look back on it, we're like, holy shit, what were we doing? So that's like pretty funny to think back on. But then I got into crypto through that. 2016, I graduated college, was trading crypto. Did really well. That was back in the people are familiar with it. Pink sheets were a way to like buy like ICOs basically.
Yeah.
Very big on BNB back then, Pancake Swap, all that stuff like very early on.
Yeah.
And trading those. I ran about 15K up to 600K.
Yeah.
Lost it all. Part of the game. So I was like, I'm like pretty grateful I lost it all, to be honest, because like it led to me being like this hyper focused, take profit maxi. I got into Top Shot really early. I was like one of the first 1,000 users on Top Shot because I had a buddy doing PR for the NBA. He knew I was flipping sneakers. He was like, "Yeah, you should check this out." Like I was chasing Zion Williamson rookie cards at the time, and he was like, "Yo, check these out. Like I think you'll like this." So took a look at those. Did really well on Top Shot, and then it all imploded in February, and I did not sell nearly enough.
Yeah.
And then basically it was like NFTs are dumb.
Yeah.
We still had some ETH left in a wallet from those days, and a buddy was like, "Yo, do we buy one of these Bored Apes?" And I was like, "Nah, let's buy this hash mask." Like all the people I see online are buying hash masks.
Yeah.
So we bought a hash mask. Obviously, terrible decision in hindsight. Hindsight's 2020. We ended up buying a ton of Lazy Lions August of 2021.
Oh yeah,
shit. We were like one of the top holders at the time across like wallets that we had because we were basically like we were maxing out credit cards, doing like it was a huge degen play for us. Me and a friend, and we just kept loading up wallets from Coinbase with ETH as soon as we could get like instant spend and instant transfer with it.
Yeah.
So that ended up panning out beautifully. We made a ton of money. And then we're going through the books to see like how much we made. And I was like, dude, we spent like $2,800 in transaction fees. Like, this is not feasible for retail. This is not even realistic in the slightest bit. And at the time, I was trading in NFT Llama's Discord.
Mm-hmm.
I'm familiar. NFT Llama had a massive Discord in 2021. He had a small channel called Soul Trades, and some guy there was like, "Yo, check out Solana." Tagged me. He was like, "I watched this show. Check out Solana." I was like, "Why?" And then he called me on Discord and walked me through. That same day, we minted Meerkat Millionaire Country Club, which ended up being like pretty good cook.
Yeah.
I managed to hit 2 on mint. Sold one for like 20 and one for like 40 SOL at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sold $100 at the time. So like those were nice wins. And then after that, I was just hooked on Solana. I was like, this is going to be the retail chain. You can't tell me twice.
Yeah.
I was going on the morning show with Pio and Nick frequently, and they were like making fun of me going all in on Sol. Boryoku Dragons minted that November. Tile Pilots minted December. Balloonsville then minted. OK Bears the following March.
Yeah.
It was just kind of history ever since then.
Yeah, fascinating story. I love that. So much detail. Craig, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's funny how so many people have similar stories. Like, I was Silk Road as well. That was my entry to exact same thing as Easy. I thought it was paradise being able to buy naughty shit without anyone knowing, kind of thing. And then realizing that the blockchain's forever and thinking, well, fuck, I don't know if that was probably the smartest thing in the world. And then the same as Easy. So that was my first experience to Bitcoin as well. So it's kind of funny how that went. I wanted to, Easy, is this your third cycle?
Third or fourth, depending on how you look at it. Like,
so yeah, you're a bit of a
16, 18, technically DeFi summer in 2020, NFTs 21, and then this.
Yeah. So you're a bit of a veteran then.
I'm an old head at this point. Yeah. I've been around the block. I've seen all the metas come and go. You start to catch on to trends pretty early.
Yeah. What would you say? I mean, for me personally, that's really interesting. And I would have saved this question for later, but I don't think I will. What would you say is the biggest lessons you've learned? This is a big question from, say, your first cycle to the one now. Like, I'm second cycle, so I'm a lot more comfortable, but I'm assuming by the third, it's even better. So hopefully it is the case, but you tell me, man, what's it like?
Don't get married to your bags. Like, that's the big thing. Like, stick to a trading plan. You're never going to sell the top. You're never going to buy the bottom. And be comfortable exiting whatever it is you're buying. Because like Launchcoin was a perfect example as of recent, where I was like, we sold it too early. Like, we sold it at like 80, 90 mil. I left a small moon bag that I wrote up to like 260. But like, if I kept the whole thing, I mean, I made an absolutely outlandish trade on that. I think I was like one of the first who had like a public thesis on it, specifically for the dogs, where I was like, yo, this will probably take a month to play out. It ended up playing out in 48 hours. Which was like stupid, like
timing,
pure, like, crazy timing on how it worked. But it was just like my take profit was really early, you know, and like I was comfortable with that because, like, dude, we got in at 5 mil and we sold. Third take profit was 80, which was like insane. First one was like, I think it was 10 or 15, and then 30, then 80.
Yeah.
So like for that, it was just kind of like when I have a trade and a thesis that's like well thought out and outlined, I have very strict stop losses and take profits. And sometimes it'll pump off that stop loss. Sometimes it'll go much higher than your take profit. And like, you just have to be okay with that.
Well said. That's like, I mean, me and you have the exact same trading thesis, I suppose. Like, you just have to, you can't marry your bags. You just have to cut it. Like, even if it hits your invalidation, sick, move on. Next opportunity is just around the corner. And often having liquidity is key, right? Like, if you have liquidity locked up in the wrong shit, that's what goes down as some of your worst trades, because you miss out on those new trends, miss out on those new opportunities all the time. So speaking of the Doggos, like, that's obviously a big brand for you guys. You've been pushing that now for 2 years. Yeah, it is coming up on 2 years. July, wasn't it? 23 that we minted. That was correct.
I want to say it was June like 16th or something. It was the same day Robinhood delisted Solana. So
okay,
like,
there you go. There you go. That's right.
Like, it was the exact same day Robinhood originally delisted Sol.
There you go. Nuts. Hey, nuts. When you think about like where Sol's at, like I suppose being all cycle, but yeah, talk to us about the Doggos, like maybe a little bit about where they came from, that sort of opportunity to maybe, I know that you have dogs, so talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I mean, it was stemmed from my dog, and with that, it was just a PFP I always had. And the big reason for me was just like I was selling NFTs so frequently that like I could never attach myself to a collection, to a project. Fun fact, the only other PFP I've ever had was an OK Bear that I PFP'd for like 48 hours. So it was just purely like, it was an OK Bear in a Hawaiian shirt, which I was like, okay, yeah, that's kind of fitting. But it stemmed from that. It was just kind of like, oh, if we're going to launch on Sol, we should do something that's like in line with this Sol native thing, your PFP. If you're comfortable with it, let's do it. Originally, the collection actually had like 9 breeds of dogs, and then we like scaled down a ton. for it. We actually had like a complete set of art for it. And we scrapped the whole thing. We went with a different artist just because it was like we wanted to try more of the cartoon style versus like something that was more in line with like I would say the OK Bears BAYC style of art. So we kind of shifted that. And I think the big thing for us was just kind of like we wanted something that everybody could resonate with and relate to for that, which was like the big kind of thing for it. Yeah, it was kind of a move on our part to get a Solana native collection. We have the portals on ETH, and yeah, that's now the rest is kind of history. It's been almost 2 years.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, there's a skate deck right there from the Bodoggos as well. So up the back. So nice to rep some merch for sure. And the merch was a big sort of aspect of the community probably last year, and if not a little bit before that too. Where we asked Pierre the same question the other day. Where are you guys kind of heading now as a brand, as a community, all those sorts of things?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say like as a brand, it's more just like there's more stuff rolling out that I'm excited about, but it's like we're an entertainment company. We follow the news, the trends, we cover the space. It's more about just like how do we continue to onboard people and get people excited about crypto in a way that makes sense and is easy to digest. We've been doing daily shows for almost 4 years. Yeah. October will be 4 years. So like there's very few people that I think have withstood the test of time. Shout out FOMO Hour and Farouk and them. Yeah. Because they're right there with us. Awesome people. We love those guys. Shout out Mando. Shout out OSF. Shout out Tyler D. Just great people. Yeah. And it's been awesome to also watch them grow, scale, and continue to crush and dominate. Like watching Rect go parabolic has been so surreal. And I'm like one of the biggest advocates for it. I love the drinks, love their team. And just from that perspective, it's like, it's interesting because people are like, why would I want to buy the NFT? And the NFT is like, instead of having a paid Discord or even what you guys do with like the WAP and everything else, it kind of just gives you access to us. And that's the best way. Like if you're a supporter and you watch the show, it's an easy way to be like, hey, I rock with you guys. Yeah. You know, like that's the best way. And it's like, if you're new to crypto, it's one of the friendliest Discords. They trade all the time. They're literally trading right now. Yeah. Like it's so active in there. It's always been active. I know Greeny's been in there forever. Yeah. He's seen it. It's like, for us, it was like, we were so unsure if we wanted to go towards like the trading mentality or if we wanted to go towards like just an education style thing. And it's kind of a mix of both. I'm excited because this week I think we're going to finally have some like really awesome stuff roll out when it comes to like we've been working on a mobile app, a news-based mobile app that'll be going live. Yeah. And that's not tailored. Like in my opinion, I talked to Nick a lot about it. Me and him are on calls every week, basically every day, if not every other day, just talking about what angle we want to take with this. And I'm like, it's not for the people who live on crypto Twitter. Yeah. Like it's like the idea of this app is for people who have families, who are busy, who can't stare at the charts and watch the news 24/7 of what's happening, but can be caught up in a matter of minutes so that they don't feel like they're missing out. Yeah. And that's the big thing for us is like when the Trump coin launched, so many people hit up Nick while he was at the Trump gala. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We ended up getting like hooked up with a ticket. And originally it's funny because that's like a whole nother story where I knew the people who were a premier sponsor and I get a cold DM like 48 hours before. They're like, hey, we have a ticket. Do you want to go? So I called Nick. I'm like, yo, I have the opportunity to go. It makes way more sense if you go. Like, and that's probably like one of my favorite things of working with these guys is like, it's such a team and collaborative environment where it's like, hey, I could have gone. Would it have had the same impact? Absolutely not. So it was like, you go, you have much farther reach with stuff. It makes way more sense for you to be present and like vlogging it and doing all that stuff. And I think that's a big part of it is like showing the mix of like some of the lifestyle stuff, some of the entertaining content, some of like I lean way more on the educational stuff. It's just like what I enjoy. Yeah. I like to do that type of content. And I think that's a big part of it too, is like I get asked a lot, like, oh, like you could make way more money being separate. And I'm like, yeah, but what's the fun in that? Like, I get to collaborate with people who are so interested and so eager to do the same stuff. Yeah. And have just people to like throw ideas off of. Like me and Clemente talk a lot about social media strategies and stuff like that, where it's like
his glow up is just, it's insane. And it's just, I love seeing it. Like, it's just epic to see.
Oh, dude crushes it. And it all started from like the Blast days. Like that whole thing started when he showed me his Blast Gold and we were just ripping him on the show. Yeah. We're having like 6. We're like, oh dude, you're an absolute bum. I was sitting on a few hundred. He's like, oh, I'm going to flip you. Like, I'm going all in. He went all in and dude just dominated. Absolutely dominated. Pio's found his voice on social media now too, which was an uphill battle for a while because it was like, what do I talk about? And it was just kind of like, dude, just talk about what you're doing. Like take swings, but like a lot of that may never have happened if we did not have this opportunity to collaborate and like discuss with one another, because we all have our own strengths and weaknesses. So it's like very helpful to be able to talk together and collaborate on that stuff.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think having a community, a team, it makes a big difference to help sort of your crypto journey, I suppose, like with content, with sort of, oh my God, 10,000 new. Dude, thanks for the tip. That's huge. Sorry, just got distracted by that. But yeah, no, I love it. Like, I mean, and you're right though. I think tapping into, and that's why Craig and I sort of work, right? Because we're different. Like, it's so important that you're unique. You come with your own sort of your own entertainment, your own strategies, your own way that you look at things, all those sorts of things. So I love to hear that. Craig, your question.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, you've been in the space a while, Easy, and this is something I sort of wrestle with or try. Do you have a routine that you go by? Like, I know with the gym and me succeeding and other things in life, I needed to have a routine to win at things. With trading or your weekdays, do you have a really set routine, or are you quite loose?
Not anymore, man. Like, it kind of sounds weird, but like I've reached a point where like I don't need to click the buttons anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I love to click the buttons though. Like, I still trade every day.
Yeah.
But like the last few days is a perfect example. Like, I've tweeted less. I've been golfing way more. It's just kind of just like I don't need to. I do it purely for like love of the game at this point. Like, I had a crazy Soul trade. Like, we hosted the largest space when Soul was literally the lowest. It was the same day we were live on Spaces with 2,000 concurrent listeners when Vitalik tweeted about the Solana ecosystem and marked the bottom. Like, I was live during it, which is like, that's on wax. Nobody can ever say that I wasn't there for it. Like, I was literally as live as you could be, hosting with all like the prominent Solana people. And I still have like I was publicly buying tens of thousands of dollars of Soul sub $20, you know? So like, I've done really well with stuff, and I've just kind of reached a point now where it's like, do I need to click? No. But I guess the routine question is like, my routines, live stream at 8, just myself yapping, talking about what it is I talk about. Cause it's more just like charts, a lot of memes, stuff that I just enjoy. Then we do the daily show, and then calls throughout the day, partnered content, stuff like that. But then for like trading, it's more just like when opportunities present themselves. And I've reached a point where like, I'm not mad if I miss a trade anymore. I used to be like upset where I felt like I have to be locked in, even if I'm not clicking, just have to be at the desk or on my phone or doing something. And now it's just kind of like, oh, I missed a trade. All right. Like, life goes on, you know. It's been a nice shift where I've been able to get away more. I mean, dude, I got like the worst golf tan. Like, look at that golf tan. I'm like different shades now. It's nuts. So yeah, I would say the routine is certainly shifted, focusing more on like being away from the desk, enjoying time, not as locked in, I guess you could say, which has pros and cons. I have exposure. I still trade a lot purely because I want to. But I think that's mentally helped me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find, is burnout something you've personally faced? I know Greeny and I sort of monitor ourselves and each other quite a lot on the show, because you can burn out or be overexcited. Is that something you've faced in the past with the show and with yourself and your expectations on yourself? And how did you deal with it if you did face it?
Yeah, so I guess the burnout question is pretty good. I would say like, yeah, everyone experiences burnout. You know what I mean? Like, it's just part of the game. It's just part of the process. And like, I guess now you could even say I'm like facing periods of burnout where like I'm tweeting less, but it's also because like there's not much to talk about. Like, the market's been relatively quiet. It's a quiet cycle. Bitcoin's pushing all-time highs day after day. Even with like a literal war going on, this thing is sitting over 105, 110K, you know? So I don't know. I would say the burnout stuff is just kind of like, it's part of it, but it's also just like, if you enjoy what you do, does it really feel like work? And I think that's a big win for me, is like, not really. So when I get burnt out, it's nice because I can just kind of step away, and like I have 3 other guys to pick up the slack. But at the same time, it's also just like, I know that there are things I have to do for work, and then there's also things that I can comfortably not worry as heavily about.
No, great. Would you say golf something you do as the relaxation part of avoiding the burnout, finding a hobby
It's
that's
nice to get away?
Yeah.
Because I golf with people who are not in the space, so it's like
perfect.
They have zero idea what I do. And like, I have some IRL friends who are like, when all that stuff was going down, they're like, yo, how's this affect you? And it's like, oh, well, I'll probably be working till like 1 a.m. now, because it's like, I want to monitor the markets, post content about it, or like stuff like that. Or like, it's nice because like, it's so disconnected from everything going on that it kind of creates this level of separation that's helps kind of reset the brain. Like, okay, there's this world outside of crypto Twitter, you know, and it
I think that's so important,
helps.
isn't it? Just have IRL mates that know nothing about crypto that might even say to you, dude, shut up. Let's just talk about sport. And you're like, thank fuck. Like, let's just talk about anything else.
Like, let's yap about the NBA finals for a bit. I'm down. Like, like you got Oakmont going on with the US Open. Like, let's talk about that. Like, that's great.
No, it's so interesting because like I know you have a lot of friends in the space. Like you've been part of groups together. You've run up plenty of money together. You've been in communities together, all those sorts of things. I don't have a lot of like in real life friends who are in crypto. And if I do, they're just like, oh, Greeny, I want to make 100x in this Memecoin. Like literally, or like Greeny, what do I buy? And I just go, literally just buy Bitcoin, seriously, and step back and that's your best strategy. So I wanted to say, like, was that something that you all kind of did together, or did they come off the back of you being probably the earliest out of your friendship group, or how did that all kind of happen?
For like crypto, you mean?
Well, yeah, for your friends that are with you in crypto and have been for quite a while.
Yeah, so I mean, I started in a small group of like 15 of us in this group called Soul Trades. That was like just us trading Solana NFTs. It was like all we did 24/7. And it was great. Like it was surreal. Some of them like just stopped after Boryoku. I mean, dude, the Boryoku Dragon's Mint was like a life-changing opportunity for those that weren't there for it.
Yeah.
It was a stealth mint, one of the first ones. Our group was like, we found the socials when they had less than 100 followers. So we were like stupid early. And that was back when it was like, okay, like you got to make the money now. So we were all locked in 24/7, just trading together all the time. We got the link very early. I think we minted like 30% of the supply. I think Fuckrender bought one of mine at like 55K or something like that from one of my wallets, which is crazy. So like that was a huge thing for us. A bunch of those guys like stopped trading after. Like they hit their number and they were just gone.
Yeah.
Like there's that chat is still around. And it's funny because like someone like Hunter Solaire, if you're familiar with him, was in that group. So me and him are still close during like whenever I'm in Dubai and other places wherever he is for conferences. Like I saw him at Token in Dubai. Why that even get brought up was like stuff like that where it's like people like that where we still like see each other, but that was like the first group. And then after that, it kind of was like Bodoggos 24/7 and like the morning show group where it was like the NFTs, ETH meme coins, if you remember Mog and Pepe kicking off.
Yeah.
And I would say like obviously the guys I work with, like Pio, Nick, Clemente are like three of the closest guys I work with. Eli, awesome. Love trading with him. Obviously Vo, who is my partner, and it's like amazing because she trades.
That's
and that's always fun.
I don't know how that works. How does that work, Izzy? Sorry to intercept. A partner, because my wife, she's a graphic designer, knows enough about crypto, but like in a way, kind of good because she kind of tells me to shut up sometimes. I don't know what it'd be like having a partner who's fully into it as well. Is that? I don't even know what I'm trying to ask. But
when you love what you do, it's like it's fun to talk about. Like you have someone who understands everything, and like if the trenches are hot, and I'm like, hey, listen, like I gotta go. Like I gotta go lock in for a bit. She gets
it's
it.
Like cool day, brother. And my wife just like, what the fuck are you talking about? No,
she gets it. If like the trenches are hot, and I'm like, hey, I gotta trade. It's hot. Like she's like, okay. Like,
she's like, I'm in there anyway. I'm really in.
Yeah. So did Vo, because I want to talk about that too. Is Vo like, does she tap into the trenches, or how does she like to trade crypto?
Dude, she printed on Launchcoin. That was like a huge win for her. She had like a near 6-figure win she tweeted about because she like when I posted the thesis, I was like, yo, like just she always gets mad because I never give her alpha. She's like,
really?
She gets so mad because she's like, you're hitting these wins. Tell me about them. But I'm like, yeah, but I trade a lot. Like to this day, I still trade a lot. And I'm like, I don't want to give you garbage. But like that was one that was like a nice win, you know? And like she got in on it, was ecstatic to hit on that. But yeah, it's more just like the macro stuff, I would say, is like it's fun to be able to talk to somebody about it. Like when stuff's going down, it's like, okay, Hyperliquid's obviously a big trade for me right now. I sold my Punk and put it all into Hyperliquid, which like is already significantly outpacing, which was like the thesis was like, hey, I think this outpaces. And everyone was like, oh, you just don't have patience. And I'm like, yeah, I don't need patience when this thing's going to go up.
Yeah. And you can out-trade it.
Right? Like, fuck the patience. Excuse my French. But like, I sold it for 60th profit, lost like 13 grand, which was great for me for taxes. But I'm like, I'm up on the hype trade, like significantly. So I don't know. For me, that was the big thing was like, it's cool to have someone who just gets it and that you can talk to about that stuff. and they understand when like, okay, I gotta go do this. I gotta lock in. I gotta focus on this, that, and the third. And I can't like, oh, maybe we can't watch a movie or we can't watch a show or can't do something because this is going on.
Yeah.
And it's good to have someone who completely gets it.
Yeah. It's taken my wife, like I've been in the industry for 9 years. It's taken my wife literally 7 years to allow me to do that.
Yeah.
So, I totally understand. Well, I think that goes back to the point earlier about your punk and swapping into hyper. Like the liquidity, right? Like, sure, if you want, you could, if you're worth millions, sure, maybe you can throw a 1% if it's 1% on a punk, right? But if it takes up a decent amount of the portfolio, having that liquidity locked up in an asset that's only gone up like what 20 grand in the past couple months.
And that's
like,
the thing, like, dude, even at 10%, like if I have $1 million on chain, and that thing's 10%, why would I not move that out at that point?
Exactly.
To make a trade that if it goes to $160, I just made $300-400 grand, you know, and the punk would need to appreciate.
Yes.
Like 30 ETH, and ETH price would have to appreciate. Like, dude, I made ETH on the trade.
Yeah.
Like in theory, if we're denominating the underlying asset, I made a profitable trade. Like I made what, a 18-20% profitable trade, but I lost money. Like that's the thing, is like I lost money on the trade. So like no matter which way you spin it, the trade in my opinion is just like the most no-brainer. Like why would I not move into a as PO calls MicroStrategy the fastest moving horse? It's like I'm going to move into the coin that I think does the Solana of this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed. I think so too. Like, and people need to understand, and you mentioned it earlier, like being able to cut your bags when a trend shifts or a narrative shifts, right? And the narrative is certainly moved into Hyperliquid and that ecosystem and some other ecosystems. But I want to talk about those opportunities soon. But let's go back onto Robinhood. So what's your thesis with that? Like, if you're a crypto maxi, you obviously have a big bag of soul. I want to talk about Bitcoin specifically as well. But why Robinhood compared to, say, Coinbase or MicroStrategy and those sort of options?
It's the do everything financial app. Like that is the bet, is that as soon as they announced the predictions market, for me was like, that was it. Like when I saw that, I was like, yeah, no, that's going to outpace every other vertical that they have, because now what you have is an opportunity from retail to be able to not just buy equities, not just buy crypto, not just buy options, and soon trade perps, but also now be able to speculate on the NBA finals, speculate on who's going to win the Masters, speculate on the next president of the United States, you know? And I'm like, okay, this is where they combine everything. And if you don't see an opportunity in that, where like the market truly is going to recognize something that has every asset of finance in one mobile application that's user friendly, then I think you're just like, you've completely lost it. Like Coinbase is great for crypto, but why would you not want to get into something that covers so much more? Like if you look up Robinhood on the App Store right now, they're tailoring it's like buy XRP, buy Bitcoin, buy Solana. And it's like, okay, this is cool. But I look at it as when Q2 earnings come out, you're going to see just how much money they made on the predictions market. And that's going to surprise so many people that I think this trade, like I think I've been saying Robinhood to $200 for like, since Robinhood was 30.
Because you've had it for a while, right?
Yeah, I was buying like $30 to $33 was the original entry. And when I was like very vocal that I'm like, this is the one, this is my equities play. And I don't trade individual stocks as much anymore, just because the volume, obviously TradFi is involved. There's a lot of stuff that like I just have outsized returns when it comes to crypto. So like I'd rather trade crypto. And like personally, dude, I'm like, my favorite thing to trade is like pre-bond pump fund migration coins. Like I love the lowest, like sub 100K market caps. Like that's the thing. I have like a serious problem with how much I love them. And like I do well some weeks, I do awful other weeks. But
how many transactions have you had?
Oh, dude, my accountant hit me up the other day and he was pissed. He was like, what the fuck are we doing here? Because he's crypto native. So like he like has the wallets and he's just like, dude, like because I've made a few new BullX wallets. As soon as I start getting copy traded, I make a new one. Just because like I despise the copy trading shit.
Oh, it's
because like it's someone who's like very vocal on the timeline.
Exactly.
The second someone's like, why'd you sell this? Or I get a tweet back from even like someone with 30 followers, it's a new wallet immediately. And many times I'll completely withdraw and figure out a way to completely shift that wallet, like obscure the absolute shit out of it. Like I hate the copy traders. And I respect the people that have a ton and do great. Like I'm not an advocate for the whole like dump on your copy traders. You're not pressing the buttons for them. And the people who do, I am like, yeah, kudos to you. I got no problem with it. It's just that's not the like I don't tweet tickers. That's not it. So like just let me trade on chain in peace.
Yeah, literally. I like Craig, like we used to trade a lot of low caps at the start of the cycle, Craig. But as you grew bigger, as you started to realize, okay, people are following you into everything, like just blindly following, you're like, okay, I can't be doing this shit anymore.
Yeah. Because before, dude, back in like January, February, you could publicly trade just a Bull-X screen and just do well without dumping on people. Because there was like enough traders on chain, enough volume that like your buys aren't going to cause any crazy volatile price action. Yeah. And then Trump happened. And then it was like, okay, either you made crazy money. And that was like another trade I did great on. Like I remember I publicly tweeted like buying 50K of this tonight and I was like, and sleeping on it. And it 2x'd overnight. Yeah. Like it was just like insane. But after that, I was like, okay, even that, like that trade, people were like, well, why'd you sell? Because I publicly was like, I'm selling this the next day. It's like, dude, the thing is a $78 billion market cap. Like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah,
very fair. Craig?
Yeah, I guess one of the questions easy I have is just going back a little bit. Was there a moment where when you got into crypto and left TradFi, if you want to call it that? Well, what was the main catalyst for deciding to go all in crypto? Was there a moment of pain, or was it kind of a gradual progression?
It was just like a very slow progression, I would say, because like to this day, I'll still like I love options. The volatility is what I love. I love volatility and aggressive price swings. So like I trade S&P options. I've been trading S&P options since I was 16. And to this day, like I had one last week, I was trading on the bounce from like the announcement of Israel bombing Iran. And I was like, okay, I'm buying calls. It's probably a bad move. Bought like some long dated in the money calls and it worked out. But it's like, for me, I'll always trade stuff like that just because that has a ton of volume, liquidity, and like is good. But equities just move slow. Like they just move slow, man. And I hate slow moving assets. Like it just, I get bored. Like even my Robinhood trade, people are like, dude, this is like unlike you. But it's like, that's like, I'm comfortable putting the 401k in it and forgetting about it when like I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. I think, that was that the same for you, Greeny? Was it a slow progression like that?
Well, see, I never really, because I'm probably about the same age as Easy. So it's like, I didn't really come from that world. I suppose I was buying stocks, but again, kind of just slow moving. I bought a lot of stocks during COVID and my mate did too. And so they rocketed from there and I took some profits out and then went back into crypto. And then he didn't, and he never really got profits out of them until later on when they all dumped again. And I was like,
that was probably the switch was COVID because I had puts. I've told this story a few times. I was really big on Wall Street bets, used it frequently. They had a huge commodity run for a while. And that was like because of a post I wrote about corn futures. And for like 3 weeks, Wall Street bets was only commodities. And it was like entirely because of my post where like everyone printed on these corn futures because of a massive storm in the Midwest. That's and crazy. Like, we were speculating on it. We saw the early buys on these like out of the money dated corn futures with corn prices going up. And you could literally buy the ticker corn. And I had this post that was like, trust the Mayans, buy corn, like just something dumb, like it was just a stupid thing. And all these people like, you're an idiot. I'm in for X amount. Like this is the dumbest post I've ever heard. I'm in. And we all just like giga printed on that post. You can still find the post. I think my username was like, I wear a green backpack, which was just like something dumb. And yeah, that was like my first like crazy big win after COVID, because I had put options on COVID during the crash, during the triple breaker day or double breaker day, whatever it was. I was short, and I watched them jump like 9,000-10,000%. It was like one of the craziest wins I've ever had. Like there's a few moments that like really sit with you for like trades, and that was the first one that was like, holy shit. There's not going to be a better timing trade than that. Like that was one. I shorted UST when Luna collapsed. Oh yeah, so I shorted a stable coin from 92 cents to 8 cents when I sold, and it went down to 2. That was like crazy because I found like one of the few dexes that I could trade. I could trade a stable coin with leverage. So like that was crazy. I remember, and I'm not gonna like put the air out for like who the dex was, because the way that they had to settle it was like they had to move my positions into like Bitcoin and some other stuff just to like pay me out. So like that was pretty funny. They couldn't pay me out on the single trade because it would have like nuked their order book. So they had to like shift all this stuff in the back end. And I ended up taking like a 30-40K haircut on it just to get out of the trade.
Yeah.
Which was funny. And it was like, obviously, I don't know how much I want to share on it because like just technically as a US user, you weren't supposed to be on the platform. So like they could have taken all of it, but I was like, my page was big enough at the time that they were like, hey, we technically don't have to pay you out. We're going to, but like next time, let's not do this. So I was like, okay. So that's up there.
Great story.
Yeah, that one was fun. And that was just crazy because like back then, it was like, if you remember USDC depegged that same day.
Yeah.
Went down to like 92, 93 cents. And I had friends that were like taking out every dollar they had to buy USDC.
Yeah.
Because like you could make a guaranteed 8, 9, 10%.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was crazy, dude. We were in group chats like frothing, buy. Like it was awesome. Bring back that.
Yeah, it was surreal.
Maybe not, but
that was surreal. That was up there. Obviously, my Solana trades are like all time at this point. Because like there just wasn't many people on the timeline that were such Solana bulls. And I was like screaming that like the FTX overhang is gone.
Yeah.
If that is the only piece of FUD, there's no more FUD. Like this, this goes back to all-time highs, and sure enough, it did. So like, that's the other interesting thing that was like, I don't have a ton of Solana anymore. Besides my staked bag is like still, I would say 40% of my crypto exposure, maybe 30%. But like liquid Sol, like tradable Sol, maybe a couple hundred that I just trade with just for memes, just because I like to. But like, I'm way more overexposed to hyperliquid.
When did you sell your Sol?
It's been like throughout, like very consistent. I've been taking some off the table since Sol was like 160 all the way up to 280, like with Trump. I've been selling and like recognizing profits because I was backpacking last year for like 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever it was, from July to November. Yeah. And at that point, I was just kind of like, I'd rather have more money in the bank. Yeah. And we'll just start moving into like safer assets, I guess you could say, versus crypto. Yeah. Where stuff's just more consistent. Like just boring shit, dude. Like I was buying T-bills and other stuff where it's just like, I don't know what the volatility is going to look like. I don't know what my spend is going to look like. Just personal stuff. And then I was like, I'm not going to unstake this Sol because that's such a big portion of it that I would rather have that as my Solana exposure, earning 8, 9, 10% a year. And that's just what I'm comfortable with. I hit my Bitcoin number. I'd been saying I wanted to buy 5 Bitcoin for like ever and just sit on that. So like I'm like still seriously exposed to crypto, but it's like liquid trading capital. I always just got to move stuff around now if I want to take big positions, just because it's like I have stuff in like longer term trades now that I'm comfortable just sitting on. Cause like I said earlier, I don't need to trade anymore, which is like a crazy position I never thought I'd be in. It's the where like I can just sit comfortably. Which was also like a big reason I made the punk trade was like, do I sell this? Do I unstake this? Do I sell these other NFTs that I think outpace in the short term? Or do I move the thing that I know is going to be slow at a point here that looks like this thing finally wants to break? And we made a good trade on it.
Yeah, excellent. No, I like it. I love that. It's great to hear that sort of story. And a range of different assets, I suppose, too. And I think that's the key, like understanding that crypto goes in trends and narratives. And if you can trade them and be early to them, that's the secret. Like that's seriously the secret. What is your trenches strategy?
So that's the hard part because like trench strategy trades every day. It changes every single day. The meta changes. I don't buy social media tweets. Like if Elon tweets something and I'm in a coin, I'm out. Yeah. I'm like selling on a lot of like heavy copy. Like if Powell buys something I'm in, I'm selling into that candle 100% of the time. I take initials at 2x every single time, no matter what the trade is. I'm out at 2x for initials every single time. Yeah. Just because the trench stuff, like the PvP stuff's gotten so bad that like you can be up 600% and then someone can launch a new coin and be like, oh, this one's in the bio. Of the TikTok. And it's like, okay, well now I just watch my bag drop 90%. Like if I'm up 2x, I'm out. I'm riding the rest of the trade free. And then after that, it kind of depends on the narrative. Like if this is a viral meme, me and Clemente did really well on like Ice Bucket Challenge, Chicken Jockey, some of this other stuff. We do really good on the social media stuff because we kind of like understand social media at this point where we know like when stuff's breaking, when stuff's moving, does this look like it'll go higher, more views, all that stuff. But it changes every day. Like I did really well on the Believe stuff early on. Yeah. Because I was early on Believe. And then I just got into a lot of the coins that I liked. Like Creator Buddy is one that I'm a huge fan of because I love Alex.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy, he's crypto native.
Yeah.
Above all else. So he knows if he's launching a coin, how toxic this space is.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try to at least do something with this thing. And sure enough, he did. So like that was a great one from like 400K to a couple mil and stuff like that, where it's like mid caps, low caps, high caps all have different strategies. Low caps, I'm getting in and out of much quicker, and I'll buy back in if I see strength or upside potential. But dude, like even last week, there was this one called Trolley the Trencher, which was like a turtle AI VO3, had like vlog style of it as if this turtle was trading the trenches. I was in at 70K and it ran to 4 mil. I was out of the coin at 200K like completely, just because I thought that the Bigfoot vlogs would outpace it. Like it's tough to kind of know how high stuff's going to run in this market, that any profit's better than no profit. And I care more about what my weekly total is, that profit and loss, than what my daily is. Like if I can end up a week up 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10K, incredible week.
Yeah.
If I end up down 1,000 on the week, I'm pissed. I'm like, okay, we traded like shit this week. Yeah. And it happens. Like it happens all the time.
Of course.
But I also don't have an issue reloading, or like my trench wallets, dude, I keep them pretty lean. Like some days I'll go in with 10 soul and be like, if we burn this, we burn it. Some days I'm like, okay, the trench is a little bit more hot. Let's throw 50 in a wallet and see what it ends up at the end of the day. But I take the money out at the end of the day. Like if I started with 10 and I'm at 18, 8 souls coming out for that right before I go to bed. And it's not going back in unless like that wallet goes to 0. If we started with 50 and we end up at minus 30 and we have 20 soul left, there's a good chance I still take out 10 and now just manage a 10 soul bankroll. Because like for me, my mentality is the space, you have to understand who you're trading against and like what the capital allocation is for the current trend. And like, if I'm seeing smaller wallets buying and smaller wallets trading, if the bigger wallets that I track are only buying 5 soul of stuff that's supposed to be good, the trenches are quiet. They're boring. Like if I see wallets blasting, like what was that coin that launched? There was some like AI bullshit that launched the other day on might not have been Believe. Oh man, this one's gonna drive me crazy. Let me see if I can find it. I saw some people blasting like 200-300 soul at this thing.
Was
and it dropped all the way down to like
not useless?
No, it was. Oh man, I gotta find it. It's gonna drive me crazy. I have too many charts. I'll find it. But there was some token that launched that people were all over. And for me, I saw it and was like, okay, these guys are all blasting. Let's see if we can get an entry. It dropped like 60%. I bought in on the dip. At that point, it was like, let's just sell at their entry. And I was like, okay, because those people want to see it go back up. Like the psychology in the trenches outweighs any trading strategy, in my opinion.
100%. Yeah, I like that. Greg.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, with this stage of the market, Easy, what sort of got you the most excited? Is it a hyperliquid? Is that
hyperliquid and abstract?
Yeah, cool.
Those two things. Like I own like 12 or 13 monsters.fun on abstract because like I like the game. I love the Ponzi stuff. I was wicked early to Bitcoin, like really early to Bitcoin.
Dude, I saw you on the timeline. I woke up to you being an absolute menace, already hoarding everything. I was like, fuck, because obviously we're in Australia. So by the time we wake up, you guys have had 12 hours of degeneracy. Yeah. You had already capitalized. So did Eli, I think. Was it Eli?
Yeah, I was in at like $1.40.
Wow, yeah, you did. That was great.
So I was in so early. Continued to max out. There was a point where, dude, I was making like 9K a day. Recognized, like selling it too, like swapping it to USDE or whatever I think it's USDE on abstract. Yeah. And like going straight stable because I was like, I didn't like the ETH price action at the time, but I was able to just continue to rip. Like, dude, I've had to have done a ton of volume on Relay. If there's ever an airdrop, it's going to be stupid. Yeah. Because I was just taking out so much, just absolutely attacking. And I was saying it, like I was very transparent about my strategy. I was like, I'm selling this every single day until I can upgrade, then I'll max upgrade with whatever I have, then continue to sell until I can upgrade again. And I was doing it like every 6 hours just because I was like, if you've been around for the Ponzi's, you know how that shit trades.
Yeah,
the whole game is maximize the return. Maximize the return.
Eli just said he's down 20K, still owns 4 Blackwells.
Hey, good luck on that. Yeah. I was, dude, I think I'm still making like $30 a day on the thing, like even at current prices. So for me, it was just kind of like, It was get in, take profit. But the big thing was like buy the coin. That was what I did.
Yeah.
I bought the shit out of the coin, traded the coin until I could trade for free, and like the coin was what made me profitable so early.
Yeah.
Because I bought a ton of the coin at $1.40, kept it in the coin, watched the run up, sold most of it around like 13, even though it ran to 19. But that was just because it was like, dude, this is a 10x. You know, like
So
what are
good.
we doing here?
Yeah, 10x.
Like, it's a Ponzi at a 10x. Get me the hell out of this. Like you're an absolute sicko if you're buying over $10 on this thing when you know people got in.
Yeah,
sub
like
$2.
easy,
Like
like
what are we
easy.
doing?
And look at the chart now, right? That's the lesson for those who didn't learn.
100%.
Look at it, and you know, yeah. Tell me, just to go on, what's your thoughts on Abstract Easy? I mean, obviously you stream a lot, we stream a lot. We're on it now. Give us your thoughts.
I think the streaming is really interesting. I'm approved to stream on it, just like haven't had time to do so. Because I do like the streaming meta. I think it's really interesting. You're currently, if you're like, I follow a lot of like pop culture stuff too. So there's currently a huge battle between Kick and Twitch.
Yeah.
The FaZe guys all did cross streaming, talked about like the creator program on Kick. I've debated even moving over to Kick for like the streams, just because I am interested in that angle, or Twitch. Just because like YouTube, truthfully, YouTube streaming sucks.
It sucks.
The discoverability is one of the worst on any platform.
Yeah.
And you almost have to be comfortable getting like nothing for viewership. Like,
correct.
It's just I've done it for so long at this point that it's like a force of nature. It's a habit where like moving over is kind of a difficult thing. But maybe this week I switch it up. Maybe this week. But I like the crypto native stuff. I'm very close with the Abstract team. Finn is a very good friend. If you remember, he was a Bodoggo PFP until he took on the role, which like I gave him a little bit of shit for changing, but I was like, I get it. They're awesome. I love that team. Vedant's a very good friend. Luca and them, awesome people. But for me, it's like you just need discoverability outside of crypto Twitter. And right now it does seem like it's mostly crypto Twitter on there, which is difficult. But I do think that they have all the right network and connections, especially from like the pudgy side, to get the right people on Abstract. So matter of when, not if for them, which is why I like Abstract as an ecosystem. I've been one of the most vocal, like outspoken anti-AGW people though. Like I hate the global wallet. I absolutely hate it. And I think maybe it's a skill issue, but I hate the AGW, man. I hate it.
What don't you like about it?
It's difficult for me to like get used to not signing transactions.
Yeah.
Like I'm so used to it and I've been on chain for so long that a new user absolutely loves it. But someone who's like this in the weeds, like, dude, just let me click the buttons. Like,
I feel it. You want to touch and feel it, eh? Like I get it. We felt the same, eh, Greeny? I like it in the fact that of ease of use, and I can tell consumers would dig it. But I was the same as you, not signing things. I was like, shit, that feels weird. But I think the friction, the reduction of friction is a good thing for other people.
And that's a big part for like getting retail on chain. So like I get why they do it, and it's not for everybody. I wish they would give me the option to just like connect my Rabby, which would be sick. Just because, like, dude, for transparency, like my Monsters Fund are not in my AGW. Yeah. Like they're in my Rabby wallet. They're staked in my Rabby wallet, which like hopefully the game allows for me to continue to play it. Because I had to do with Gigaverse was like I was like a top 3 holder at Gigaverse, and I couldn't play the game without the AGW, so I had to just sell the NFTs, which was like annoying. I was just like, okay, well, like I don't want to have to transfer them and like click a million buttons. I was up a bunch on them, so I was just kind of like, I'll just take profit and see what happens. And I love Dith. I love that ecosystem. I think they have an absolutely awesome game. Yeah. But for me, that was the big thing. I played the game because I ended up buying a couple just to play it. Yeah. But for me, like I said, I was like one of the bigger holders, and I just had to list them where I was comfortable and just see what happened with them.
Yeah, very fair, very fair. Yeah, agreed. It's good for new users for sure, but like as you said, like if you're like us and you're used to doing it on every chain, then coming here and not doing it is a bit odd. I do agree. Okay, last 2 topics because I know we all kind of have to bounce in about 10 minutes time. How do you grow a brand? So I think a lot of people were talking to Alyssa about this a couple of days ago. I wanted to ask about, so for those aspiring people out there, what are some strategies that you have really focused on, and even Vo as well, to really grow your brand up towards that plus 100K sort of followers on Twitter?
Dude, just show up every day. Like, it sounds crazy, but it's like people are like, yo, how do I do it? Just hit record. Your first videos are going to suck. Like, I have videos from November of 2021 that if you go back and watch, I'm so awkward on camera. It's not good. Like these videos fucking suck.
Yeah.
And I watch them and I'm like, what was I doing, man? And now it's like it's second nature. But it's like just go do it, join spaces, be comfortable talking, and don't shy away from one, posting your honest thoughts, and two, even if it goes against the herd. Sometimes the most controversial stuff does the best, you know, and like don't be controversial just to be controversial. But if you have a differing opinion, voice it and give reason. Don't shy away from conversation. Don't shy away from opportunity. Just hit record is always like my favorite thing to tell people is like, just go and hit the button. Just press start, show up. You're going to get 1 or 2 people watching. If that, you may have 0, but just keep the consistency going and you'll be surprised at what happens with consistency. And then the other thing is like, if there's an emerging ecosystem and you find it interesting, go click around and publicly document every single thing you're doing. If you think abstract's interesting, go talk about what it is you're clicking, why you're doing it, and what you're finding from it, and watch how quickly you grow. Eli's a perfect example of it. Like, the guy is crushing. Clemente did it with Blast. I think you can do it with things like Mega ETH. Shout out Bread Guy. I think you can do it with things like Sofon. Shout out Miggy and the guys over there.
Yeah.
Just find an ecosystem you're passionate about that you genuinely think is interesting, and just be hyper transparent about what you're doing and why you're doing it on the timeline, and watch how quickly you can scale. Like that's the thing is like, if you become the person in that ecosystem, become the person. But as soon as you start to feel yourself becoming a big fish in that ecosystem, do it again somewhere else. Go find like, don't stop. Like people still know me as the guy on Solana, but like I trade everything. And that's the thing that people are now like very comfortable with. Like if I'm talking about a new ecosystem, it's my whole like mentality is kind of shifted where people are like, oh yeah, this was the Solana guy to, oh, this guy finds stuff early and like gets it. Like you start to get those, like, dude, I had a lot of people who messaged me about Robinhood and they're like, I bought Robinhood because you were so so bullish on it and such an advocate that like, it just made sense. And now I'm up 2.5x.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's awesome. Like, I love hearing that. I have the same people who are like, I've tailed your soul trade. And I've had a bunch of people message me about hype and be like, I had to figure out hype because you all of a sudden were just like, yeah, this is the one. So it's like you build a reputation, you start to hit some wins, people start to appreciate it. I have losses too. Like, dude, there's stuff that like I've traded terribly. Like Celestia, people still dunk on me for being a Celestia fan when that first came out and staking. But there was wins when you staked it initially, and then all of a sudden it just went to fucking shit.
It was shit. I did the same thing.
Literally, every did the same thing. Staked, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, I still have some staked because I'm just so mad at myself for ever being bullish on it.
I don't know if I can even go back to stake. It makes me so angry.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my thing is like, go hit record, find something you enjoy, and just keep at it. Like the only person you're going to be fighting against is yourself.
Yeah.
And in this space, it's a long game where maybe this cycle you don't gain traction. But if you have that proof of work, on-chain history, and social media presence, quickly people start to realize like this person is legit. They've been through it. They get it, which has led to so many opportunities and so many doors for me that like I've now seen like Clemente on Blast. One of the best examples I've ever seen is like that guy went all in. It worked out. And now it's clear as day that like he doesn't need to talk about Blast. He can talk about anything, but people know that he's like willing to try.
Yeah, I think that's a key. Just having a go. Which I suppose leads to my last sort of question is InfoFi. So like that's a big one for you and Vo, obviously. Vo, I'm putting the shit posting camp a bit more than yourself. So talk to us a bit about, do you think the top is in for InfoFi? Do you think it needs to change the algos? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I want to say InfoFi top is not in. The current design of InfoFi top is in.
Yeah.
I think from a marketing standpoint, it was EV positive for a company to do a Kaido pre-TG leaderboard, give rewards. Everyone talks about it. They need to shift some of that. And I think Kaido's hyper aware of it because you get a bunch of garbage. Like this, like every post now is about farming the leaderboard versus the actual ecosystem.
Yeah.
And that will change. Like, there's some stuff that I'm interested in. I'm curious how Cetify's Peel token does. That's what I've been talking about just because like Cetify's done a really good job with some of the stuff, even if they're kind of late to some metas. They were late to the AI stuff, but their first 6-7 AI coins all sent. I think they're going to do well with this one. They know how to move a chart, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah.
So like keep tabs on that stuff. But I think InfoFi as a whole, is like, I look at Ethos, and I think Ethos is really interesting
Mhm.
because I'm not good at leaving reviews, but I look at some people's reviews that I'm not familiar with. And if I see mutuals commenting that this person's good or bad, it does hold a mental value in my head.
Yeah.
You know, like that to me is interesting. And that's a form of InfoFi. Kaido's another good example. You can quickly find top people in different ecosystems. So like I'm interested in Arbitrum. I don't have a ton of exposure to it. But if I want to go find the top Arbitrum accounts, I can go to an InfoFi leaderboard and see who the top yappers are and very quickly create a list that I can now look at daily and see what's happening in an ecosystem.
Yeah.
I agree. That's actually one of the biggest benefits for me with that InfoFi is what you just said. Is the ability for me to go which meta is hot at the moment. What not necessarily what's hot, but what is the meta that I think might be hot, and see who's the people that are really getting their feet wet, and then sort of watch what they say and I guess learn from them. I find it. Greeny, do you the same? Are you, because you and I do that with Abstract a bit and a few other things just to see. I mean, not so much. I mean, kind of to see where we are, but not so much. It's for me more to see where others are actually and see what they're doing.
Yeah, I think I want to move out of, well, more recently, my content has, as you said earlier, Easy, like I don't want to become the abstract guy. Like I've always traded everything. Like I traded Solana NFTs, ETH memes, Solana memes, ordinals, you name it. Like we've probably traded it. And I don't want to become like the number one abstract. I want to be one of the tops, but I just don't want to be the face of it. So I always kind of am looking for new opportunities. Like Cookie.fun is one that I've been looking at more recently. So I'll talk about like Play Sapiens. I've been tweeting a little bit about that. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for creators. I think in general, video, written, you name it. Like Whale.swoosh is a great example of someone that just writes. Same as Zeneca. Like they're both just write.
I think ICO Beast is like one of the best.
Yeah,
like that is the guy that like from an InfoFi standpoint, diehard ETH guy. Me and him go back and forth all the time because like he's not a Solana guy, does not like Sol, and he knows I am. But like, dude, we're good friends. I would say me and him are good friends. We talk frequently, and he's one of the best written content creators in the game right now, like by a long shot.
Yeah, he dominates. He literally does. And I agree. And he puts it in a way that's digestible for the common audience, right? And that's the key. That is the key. My last question. What does bear cycle easy look like? What happens when this cycle is over? Are you like, is the show going to continue for you guys? Like what does that look like for you? I
mean, dude, we went through the full, we were doing the show.
Yeah.
Solana, we minted at $16 Sol.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Bodago's minted for like $80. 4.269 Sol, like we were $85, you know? Wasn't an expensive mint. If we waited and minted when the market turned, it's a totally different world.
Yeah.
But we minted when we did, and there was no putting it off. But I don't know, bear cycle easies. Show will continue. I'm probably playing more golf, you know, just because the market's quieter. I don't know though. It's like, I've said it a bunch. Like I do it because I enjoy it more than anything else. And there's always something to talk about. Some days quieter than others. I would say this weekend's one of the quietest I've seen on crypto Twitter and God knows how long. And Bitcoin's still over 100K. Hype's over 40. Sol's where it's at. Like ETH is teetering, wanting to break 3K. It's still just quiet. So like you come and go when it comes to like how much you're posting or when something big's happening. But I'll always be around. You know, like I look at Kobe as a great example. The dude doesn't have to do anything ever again for the rest of his life. But he does. Because he likes it, enjoys it. So like, I don't know what'll come of it. I'm not a big angel guy or like any of that stuff. I just hate the return rate on angel investments. So like for me, I would never make like an Echo platform like he did, but I enjoy a lot of the vibe coding stuff. And it's something that I've started messing around with a lot more. I do have a software development background, so it's made it a lot easier. Like I have a degree in software development. I don't write code, haven't written code in God knows how long, but I really do understand the framework, which is like 99% of vibe coding. So I think that is like where I'll end up going more so. Like if I see an interesting meta, it's easy to slap together a quick app, get users on it, and just let them have fun. Like I think that's a big part of it. I've vibe coded a couple games. I don't know like what or if I ever launch them just to like have something out there, but I think that's probably the path I go, especially in a bear market, is like see what people are doing and create stuff that they can use. And just kind of make their life easier. Like I look at OX Ultra, the guy from Laudio. He had a Believe screener dashboard that was sick. Like made a token for it, didn't because it was on Believe. And everyone was like, just do it. No one dunks on him for it. And I think that's awesome. Or I look at like FOMO.sol if you're familiar with him.
No.
Do you know FOMO? Big meme coin trader.
maybe have a cross path.
One of the best meme coin traders in my opinion. He's on his builder arc now though. Like he's made Believe Academy, which is like learning tools for like businesses that want to get into Believe. And Ben Pasternak's been like a supporter of it, which I think is really cool. So maybe I go down more of that path where like we go more towards like the tools and dashboards and dApps and stuff, which I think is just fun. Like it's not even for the money. It's just like seeing what a user base we could run up on a platform. Which that's why I think why I'm so excited about this app we're rolling out is because like I look at something like Orangey and what he did with Potion in the YouTube and I'm like, okay, this is sick. Now, can we replicate that outside this trading space for like information and news? Like, can we get 100,000 users on an app? And I think that's like a really interesting challenge that I want to just like go all in on and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's epic. Craig, anything to finish off on today?
Yeah. Look, probably not the best ending question, but just from a selfish point of view, easy. I just want to ask you, and you don't have to go too deep in it. From a creator point of view or an influencer point of view, I suspect you get a shitload of DMs, dude, from people saying, hey, man, we want to collab with you. We've got this cool project. We want to interview you. You know, Greeny and I get the same scam / some are real. Tell me, dude, how do you navigate? Because yours must be 100x mine. How do you navigate getting back to people and be avoiding scams and getting to the real projects that actually want to work with you and do cool shit versus people trying to get you on a Telegram chat and drain your wallet?
Yeah, so as crazy as it sounds, I don't even respond to my Twitter DMs anymore. I don't have time. I'm like, and I've openly said it, like, dude, I can't even read them. Because once you get to like a certain point, you just get added to group chats. Yeah, dude. Of like, the thing is that I've started to see is like Memecoin group chats will add me even if I don't own the coin and be like, oh, he's in. And I'm like, I'm out. Yeah. But like, it's too much effort to like go and leave and do all this other shit that like, I just don't answer it. It's like, we have a form on the site if you want to work with us. And a lot of the scams aren't going to fill out the form. Yeah. Which is great. And if you do, you have to get on a call with us before we ever do anything. And it's our Calendly. Yeah. And if your camera's off, there's very few, if ever, situations we work with people that we don't see their face. Yeah. Like it's purely just like in a bull market, opportunities are plentiful. Yeah. Versus a bear where like you have to kind of take on more, especially if you rely on partnership revenue. Yeah. In a bull market, it's kind of just like you can be a little bit more selective. So for us, it's like if you're not willing to fill out a form and get on a call with us and like throw the camera on one of our Calendlys, that's probably the last call we have. You know, like
I like that.
We're pretty blunt about it. And I think it's great because that's like, dude, PO is very blunt about that. He'll be like, "Hey, your camera's off. Like, we're probably not going to work with you." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Like, or they'll push like why they want to be anonymous, and it's just kind of like, well, do we want to push an anonymous product from an anonymous founder to our audience? No, you know. So I would say like I've reached a point where it's really hard to respond to Twitter DMs, and the people that do want to message me have my Telegram. That's it. Like, or they know someone who has my Telegram and someone that I trust will make an intro. Where like someone's like, or they'll message me and be like, "Yo, this person wants to work with you. Do you want an intro?" So it's like that's a good thing. My Telegram used to be much cleaner. It's since gotten pretty busy. Yeah. My Discord DMs are off. So like unless I add you as a friend, we're not DMing, which was like very intentional just because of Bodago's Discord. But then Twitter DMs, I'm sorry if you DM me in like the last 6 months because I probably haven't answered you. And I know I apologize to you guys because you guys were like, "Yo, you guys still down?" And I was like really slow to respond. But when I looked, I was like, because I knew we wanted to do the show. Yeah. I had to go back and find the message. And I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to respond." Like, oh man, they messaged me twice. My bad. Just because like I'm really bad at Twitter DMs. Yeah. Just because there's so many.
Very overwhelming, man. They're very over. And the group chats you get sucked into. Twitter needs to get rid of that, man.
Oh shit. There is a chat coming. There's a beta chat I was saying.
I've got it.
Well, I have the beta chat. I'm on it, but it's gonna be the same thing.
It's chaos. Well, I get pulled into groups I don't even want to be in on that. I'm like,
no, dude, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, dude, if you have something interesting to hit me up with, and you really want to work with me on something, you know someone that knows me, or like are connected to someone that knows me and can get you the intro. Like that's as simple as it is. And it's like, if you want to work with us, the easiest way is to go to bodagos.com and click the contact tab and just fill out the form. I think it's literally in my bio.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
We need to steal that, Greeny. We need to do that, dude.
Yeah, we need to create a form.
It says business request, bodagos.com/easy. And like, if you click that, I promise you, you will get a response on that.
Yeah.
I promise you. Like that is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And some of that's garbage too, but we can at least filter it. Like
Yeah.
that's when we're like, if we see a bad question or someone that we're not going to work with, it's like, hey, we appreciate it, but we're not interested. And like the scams do not fill out forms. They don't do any of it.
Yeah. So true.
I saw that on your site and I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Just to qualify the good from the bad, because it's not just about avoiding, well, it is about avoiding scammers, but it's just about getting the good projects to the top of the list. So you can actually have the time to talk to them, because some people are doing great shit and then most people seem to be doing absolute garbage. So you kind of want to, it's just hard to get to the cool shit. Nah, cheers.
Or if I see something interesting, I'll message them and be like, hey, here's my Telegram. I would love to just learn more about what you're doing. And then if that conversation progresses and makes sense to work together, then I did the outbound and it's me. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, dude. Every call, like my face is on there. Like I'm doxxed. Like you can find my name. You can find everything about me if you really want to. Like it's not hard. It's really not hard.
Literally the same.
Same as me, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't really care.
Yeah.
That's better.
I mean, hey, after the Coinbase breach, I think you can literally find out how much I took out last year. So shout out them.
Well, here in Australia, we had huge, like the biggest insurance company and like one of the top like providers for mobile. Like they both leaked all of my name, my date of birth, all that shit. So I'm like, well, the dark web already knows who I am. So whatever. Like,
the real bad dudes know stuff, right? So it's like, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. Epic. No, well, easy, mate. Thank you so much for jumping on with Craig and I today. We very much appreciate your time. Thanks for jumping on.
No, thanks for having me. This was unreal. I know I yapped a lot, but I appreciate the questions.
No, I love it. I love it. Oh, I forgot. I always like to ask one question at the end from you guys. So what is a question that you have for us?
A question I have for you guys. What's been the most difficult part for you guys in this cycle? Like, what's the one thing that you've looked at and been like, damn, this was hard? A bad trade, a meta that was struggling for you? Like, what is the thing for you guys where it's like, what's been a difficult part of this current cycle?
I'd say the trickiest part of this cycle for me is the moment we're at now, because we're at Bitcoin, 5%, 10% off all-time high, 5%. For me now, it's the trickiest part, knowing when to sell, because when does the music stop? Whereas I find the bear market, which was my first, was quite nice and slow and easy because you can get positions very easily. Now it's about execution. So for me, I would probably just say being what I would consider being in the last quarter of the bull run, I can feel the pressure. Pressure might be a bad word, but time's ticking. So the trader in me is very aware that I'm not going to get caught like last time in 21 easy, holding my fucking bags and seeing them get just minus 95%. And some of them never will come back, unfortunately. So for me, probably the trickiest part is navigating near the top of what could be the top of the bull run. What about you, Greeny?
Yeah, look, I was going to say the same. Like,
sorry.
I'm glad you said it though, because I think confluence is key here. Like for us, and I know Easy's the same, like we were trading like all cycle. We were buying, like I bought Sol at $17 through to $30. That's when I was buying it. I like traded a lot of these different trends all cycle. GTG members are printed all cycle. I'm at the same sort of confluence now that it's like, okay, well, actually, what does come from now? Like, what is going to be the best trade right now? Should I be plowing like 50, $100,000s of dollars into Solana right now? It doesn't feel right after it went from $8 to 300. Like maybe hyperliquid. Yeah, okay, well, maybe I can just put 100,000 into that. I can make a 2x and just run away and just be happy with that for a salary this year. Abstract. Okay, well, that's maybe not immediately going to give me a lot of money. If I can swing trade a few things, then epic. But I think maybe in the long term, Abstract could give me a 5 to 6 figure airdrop. So maybe looking at that as an opportunity for the year. So I'd say right now as well is I still think we have a bullish 6 months ahead. We could go deeper into 26, particularly BTC, but I think now is definitely the hardest time of the market. And I mean, like I was heavy in the trenches from 2023 all the way through to Trump. And then as soon as Trump launched, I quit. I was like, nah, I can't be doing this shit anymore. I was on Twitch. I was streaming like every couple nights a week, like 150 viewers on Twitch. It was a grind too. And then it got Trump and I was like, nah, I'm over this. I can't do this shit. Like I just swing trade. Like, I mean, Housecoin is up. Yeah, it's up like 50% over the night. So yeah, like that's it. I would much rather just swing trade with size on, or even leverage like that. So we just hit a 250% long on that. So like that's what I would much rather do, and have my liquidity more in USDT or USDC right at the moment. And then that way, as you guys said, you're not going to be round tripping your gains if the top is already in or if the top is coming soon.
Yeah, perfect.
No, I like that. I think you're right.
Excellent. No, well, mate, thank you so much for jumping on. Hopefully we'll get you back on the show in the future.
100%. Appreciate you guys having me. It's been awesome.
Easy,
Thanks.
mate. Easy. All right, well, Craig, we're back tomorrow. Should be another banger. Same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Thanks, Easy. Thanks for jumping on. We've got to get Clemente on sometime.
Yeah,
Eh?
Need to get the boy on.
I need that guy's comedy, man. That guy fucking makes me laugh. But no, cheers, Easy. You guys do great work, bro. I've been watching you guys for a long time, and I must say, from seeing how you guys move and operate, you one of the few that does it well, or does it properly with a bit of integrity. So yeah, GG.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and thank you so much for my support 2 years ago, growing my brand.
Always, man.
So I love it.
Always,
Yeah.
man.
Easy. All right, guys. Thanks, chat, and thanks for the tips as well. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.
Tomorrow, guys. Cheers.